Tell me if this is you. You're standing at the kitchen counter chopping up broccoli for supper, but you were only able to buy heads of broccoli with the stalks attached. And the stalks seem so tough and inedible that you toss them straight into the trash or compost bin. Somehow, that seems like such a waste of money and food, though. If you felt this way, I'm with you. I hate throwing food away, especially if there is some way it can be used. That's what I want to help you do today. In this episode, I'll share with you 5 easy ways you can make good use of those broccoli stems and stalks, so you'll get more to enjoy and more bang for your buck. So pull up a chair or pull out your chopping board and join me on the inside. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Friend, are you looking for ways to cut your grocery bill down so you can use that money elsewhere for other important things? I am too, especially with the way food prices continue to rise. If you're retired, you may be living on a tighter budget now and know you need to be even wiser with how you spend. Well, I believe that food is medicine and is worth investing in, especially if we want to build the best health in our later years. But you actually don't need to make big drastic cuts in your grocery list in order to save money. What's more important is to be smart about what you buy, the options you choose at the store, and how you use the fresh produce you bring home. You'll need to know smart produce stretching strategies and the right knowledge on how to enjoy the plant-based foods and ingredients you bring home. I teach you how to do this in my Plant-Powered Life Transformation course because I want to help you stay plant-based eating on a budget and reap the best health in the process. We go through hacks to extend produce shelf life, key plant-based pantry essentials, practical lifestyle success strategies, along with plenty of plant-based meal ideas and simple-to-make recipes to make your transition easier. Go to plantnourish.com/PPLT course to find out more about this course. Now let's talk broccoli stalks and how to best use them. Last fall, I remember seeing this post on Facebook in a gardening group. It showed a picture of a hand holding the bottom half of a huge head of broccoli, with all the florets in the crown top cut off, leaving behind only the stems and stalk portion. The mom who posted this image wrote, "What to do with broccoli stems? Our kids love broccoli and we buy it pretty regularly. Since we pay for everything, I feel like I throw away more than half of it every time I throw it away. Thank you." Well, I am so glad she asked this question, and judging by the responses and likes on the post, others were too. Within 2 days, the post had garnered 151 comments and 3 shares, so I guess this must be a common problem. Out of curiosity, I recently checked this post again. By this time, it had gathered 49 likes, 4 shares, and 172 comments under it. That's why I decided to do an episode on this topic, because I want to help you, my listeners, if you are facing the same situation. And I know we can all benefit from learning budget-friendly ways to get more out of the fresh produce we bring home. So here are 5 simple ways you can get started using these broccoli stems and stalks. Here's the first thing you can do with them. Simply include them into your cooked stovetop dish. How? It's simple. Use a chef's knife to cut off a chunk of the circular stalk. Think of the bottom half of the head of broccoli to be like a large tree trunk with thick stem branches rising upwards. Next, cut along the circumference of this stalk portion to remove the thin, tough outer skin layer. In the end, you should be left with the tender, pale green inner portion of the stalk. After this, slice this light green inner portion into smaller, bite-sized pieces or slices. Repeat these steps for the rest of the broccoli stalks and stems to remove as much of the tough outer skin portion as you can. Don't worry if in the end a bit of the outer skin remains on some parts of the stalk. When you're done, you can simply use these chopped pieces along with chopped florets in your cooking. And there are so many ways you could add these stem and stalk pieces in during the cooking process. Here are just a few ideas. Make them a part of your next stir-fry dish, soup, baked casserole, curry, or stew. Now, if you don't want to take time to cook the broccoli stalk pieces, here's another thing you can do with them. Chop up this bottom portion to make a broccoli salad. When my husband is feeling unwell, I sometimes like to make a raw broccoli salad to boost his immunity and aid his recovery. To do this, I cut up the broccoli stalks, stems, and florets into small pieces. Then mix in some diced onions, diced apples, raisins, and sunflower seeds. I also combine these ingredients with a marinade dressing made from minced garlic, apple cider vinegar, a dash of salt and ground black pepper, as well as a little olive oil and maple syrup. Usually, I would make a big batch of this broccoli salad so it can be eaten over 2 to 3 days, and the leftovers keep well in a lidded container in the fridge. Since I'm chopping up the broccoli stalks and stems into small dice-sized pieces, there is no need to remove the tough outer stalk layer before chopping. My children love this raw broccoli salad too, and it's easy for them to eat it because the raw broccoli has already been chopped up into much smaller pieces. Now, if you don't want to spend time chopping broccoli, here's a much faster way to do it. Simply use a food processor to help you quickly dice up the stems and stalks into much smaller pieces. Here's a third thing you can do with broccoli stalks. Roast them. This may be one of the easiest ways to use up those broccoli stalks and stems. Just chop them up into large bite-sized pieces, then add these pieces to the roasting tray or sheet pan, along with the other vegetables. After this, toss all the cut vegetables with seasonings like a little salt, pepper, and aquafaba, or chickpea liquid, and then roast them in the oven at 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 40 minutes. After this, check to see if the roasted vegetable pieces are cooked through to your liking. If not, feel free to roast them for a little longer. Then check and remove from the oven when they have reached the level of tenderness you prefer. The best part? You won't even need to remove the tough outer skin on the stalks first before chopping them up and roasting them. Let's look at a fourth thing you can do with broccoli stalks, and it's a no-cook option too. Turn them into a broccoli slaw. Here's how to do it. Remove the tough outer layer on the stalks first, then julienne the inner stalk portions into thin sticks. Or, if you prefer, you can use a large whole cheese grater to easily turn these stalks into grated shreds to make the broccoli slaw. Next, add in julienne or grated carrots, sliced red onions, sliced or grated red cabbage, and seasonings such as apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, and a little vegan mayo. Mix this all together and garnish with toasted almond slices or roasted pumpkin seeds for a beautiful and colorful broccoli slaw that all can enjoy. Now let's talk about a fifth thing you can do with them. Add them to your raw veggie platter for a snack or appetizer. This might surprise you, but it is definitely a must-try. After you have removed the thick outer skin layer on the stalks, chop up the tender pale green inner portion into thin sticks, like you would when making carrot sticks. Then enjoy these with a dip you like, such as hummus, a nut butter, tahini, guacamole, or salsa. The inner stalk and stem portions have a mild, sweet taste, and they are really tender and delightfully crunchy. Now here's a bonus tip for you. Save those broccoli scraps from the outer stalk portions you have cut off and make vegetable broth from them. You can combine these remnants with other vegetable scraps you have collected over the course of the week and have frozen. These can combine to form a delicious vegetable stock. So today we looked at 5 easy ways you can use the broccoli stalks you bring home, so you can keep more money in your pocket and enjoy more delicious broccoli. These are to include them in your stovetop dish, make a raw broccoli salad, roast them, turn them into a broccoli slaw, or add them to your raw veggie platter. Know, though, that there are many more ways to make use of broccoli stalks and stems. That's because the inner broccoli stalk portions are quite mild in taste, so there can be a myriad of ways to use and enjoy them. Now here's an action step you can take. The next time you bring home a head of broccoli, I hope you'll do something a little different. Pick one of the suggestions I covered in today's episode to make better use of those crunchy, tender inner broccoli stalk portions. Then send me an email or voice message using the contact options in the show notes to let me know how that went. Many people think being on a plant-based diet will be just too expensive. But you don't need to spend an arm and a leg in order to begin plant-based eating and to sustain it. Because saving money while eating plant-based is actually easier than it looks and absolutely doable. One key is to know how to make the most use of the fresh produce you bring home, to lessen food waste and get the most out of your shopping dollars. And that's what I showed you in this episode. If you'll like more produce stretching hacks, smart strategies, simple recipes, and meal ideas to make a smooth transition into eating plant-powered, go to plantnourish.com/PPLT course to learn more about this course and see if it is a right fit for you. Let's build a life of health and wellness together. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please take a moment to rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or on iTunes. Knowing how this podcast has made a difference in your life never fails to light me up. I may also select your review to be read on the show. Remember that moving to plant-based eating can be simple and doable, even with your existing health challenges and busy lifestyle. If you have a plant-based diet question you'll like me to answer on this show, share that question with me using the contact options in the show notes. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to connect with you again in the next episode. Until next time, keep plant-focused and thriving, my friend.